silence, and perhaps if we could all just think of all of the lives that have been lost over the past few weeks, and just the challenges and troubles that our country is now going through. If you would just keep those things heavy on your mind, and push positive energies to the families that have been impacted and to our country. Okay, thank you. At this time, commissioners are entertaining a motion to adopt our June 18, 2020 meeting agenda. So moved.
Sean,
Is there a second?
sorry.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by Commissioner Lovett, that we adopt our June 18, 2020 meeting agenda. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Our agenda is adopted. Our next item on the agenda is the approval of our May 21st meeting minutes. At this time, I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Lovett, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell, that we approve our May 21st, 2020 meeting minutes. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Our May 21st, 2020 meeting minutes are approved. We'll now go into old business. Is this rezoning old business?
It is not.
Okay, it's under old business on the agenda. We're now going to go into new business. It is case number 2020 Z as in zebra -005-05. Staff, would you please sound this agenda item?
Chairman, item number 1, case number 2020Z-005-05. Applicant, the City of East Point. The applicant seeks to rezone property located at 325 Sylvan Road and 375 Sylvan Road from I-1 Light Industrial to C2 Central Business District. Property is located in Ward B.
Okay, thank you. This agenda item does require public hearing. At this time, I'll read our rules for public hearing. Public hearings before the Planning and Zoning Commission shall be conducted in accordance with Section 10-2219 of the East Point Zoning Code and Development Regulations as follows. Persons both favoring and opposing the proposed case will be provided an opportunity to address the commission. The applicant for the zoning case or the applicant's designated representative, if any, will be entitled to speak first, followed by other speakers in favor of the proposal for a total of 15 minutes. Those who oppose the proposed zoning case will then be permitted to speak for a total of 15 minutes. By majority vote, the commission may increase the total time of speakers provided that each side is given the same amount of time. If there is more than one speaker for a side, the chair or the presiding officer may limit the time allotted to each individual speaker other than the zoning applicant. The zoning applicant may reserve a portion of his or her allotted time for rebuttal. Speakers must adhere to the rules of decorum. Prior to speaking, each speaker shall identify him or herself and state his or her current address. Each speaker shall speak only to the merits of the proposed zoning ordinance under consideration, shall address remarks only to the commission, and shall refrain from making personal attacks on any other speaker. The presiding officer may refuse a speaker the right to continue if, after first being cautioned, the speaker continues to violate the rules of decorum. Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard our rules for the public hearing. Commissioner, at this time, I entertain a motion to open the public hearing for case number 2020 Z as in zebra -005-05.
Motion.
Open the public hearing.
Okay, I think that was Commissioner Miller. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let the record reflect that Commissioner Miller has joined us. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Miller, second by Commissioner Lovett, that we open the public hearing for this agenda item. All in favor sound aye.
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 All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now open. Staff, the city is the applicant, so if you would please present your case.
Yes, I am going to share the screen for the presentation. So bear with me while I share the screen. Okay, this is case number 2020-005-05, the property located at 3025 and 3075 Sylvan Road. This is a rezoning application, and City of East Point is the applicant. The property owner is Sylvan Airport Parking LLC. The property is currently zoned I-1, and it is located in Ward B. And the request is a rezoning, also known as a downzoning from property zone light industrial. The request proposed zoning is for the property to be central business district. This is an existing park and ride facility. And the applicant, this is an existing park and ride facility. And this property is currently an legal non-conforming use. Through due diligence and research of the staff, it was determined that the current property as a legal non-conforming use would not be allowed to expand. We've gone through a series of applications, one of them being a text amendment proposal. After reviewing the text amendment proposal, staff did put a recommendation in for that application to be withdrawn. There were other outstanding circumstances due to the fact that the city is currently in a moratorium on all industrial zonings. We chose to go another route as it would not have been beneficial for the applicant to move forward with the text amendment while the city is in a moratorium on that zoning district. We came to the conclusion that it would not have been in the best interest of the city to allow for park and rides in all of the current I-1 zonings in the citywide. And for that reason as well, we made a decision to pursue the downzoning to C2. This C2 zoning classification will allow this property to be a legal conforming use if it is approved, which will allow for parking as a permitted use, whereas I-1 did not allow for parking as a permitted use. So this will allow for the property to come into compliance. It will allow for the proposal of the 1,196 spaces proposed to be built. This case also associated with a variance application that was approved by this body. And there were multiple recommendations, multiple conditions placed on that property that will speak to environmental concerns, as well as green infrastructure, low impact development, and the stream that is currently on there. So I want to share, I'm not able to see you, so I'm going to move this over a little bit about the case. There were some questions that came up, and I want to make sure that we go over them so everyone is clear on what the proposal is. Question came up: how many parking spaces are within the existing park and ride facility? The answer to that was 1,325 parking spaces are inside this building, and that is this building located here. How large is the existing building square footage? It is approximately 420,000 square feet in area. The third question that came about: how many existing spaces outside of the building? And that would be this space, this little strip of space here. There are approximately 200 parking spaces in front of the building, plus an additional 204 will be repaved, restriped as part of the expansion. The 204 parking spaces are included in the total 1,196 proposed spaces. Oh, it's going. It's a runaway slide, apologize. And the last question that came about in just basic information about this project is: how many proposed new spaces in the expansion area? So total, it'll be no more than 1,196 spaces total. Staff has recommended approval of this application. there is going to be approximately, I believe it's 40% of preservation of this area here where it's a detention. There's a stream going into this area as well. It will be protected due to the fact that it will be left undisturbed, except for where there will be doing mitigation measures, dealing with the buffer in the stream and the property. And those are pictures of the existing covered parking spaces. And again, staff has recommended approval to rezone the subject property. And if there are any questions, I'll take them now.
They'll have to be taken after the public hearing.
Okay.
Are there any other proponents here to speak in favor of the zoning case? Any other proponents here to speak in favor of the zoning case?
We have Alex Brock, who has raised his hand. I'm going to go in and allow him to speak. Just give me a moment, please.
Okay.
Okay, he should be allowed to talk. Mr. Brock, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello, my name is Alex Brock. Office address is 1230 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm the zoning attorney here on behalf of the owner of the subject property, Peachy Parking, and just wanted to voice our support for the rezoning. As this body is well aware, we have been going through this process for a while with the text amendment, and as Kimberly, the text amendment would have resulted in some unanticipated I guess proliferation of parking throughout the city, which we do not want. As an option, the city decided to downzone the property to C2 to allow this to be a conforming use. We are supportive of that downzoning, and we believe it'll bring the property more in with the surrounding properties. If you notice, there is residential properties to the north, the River Park neighborhood, in industrial to the south. The C2 would act as a transition between those two differing uses. We've also spoken with the River Park Neighborhood Association. We actually had a conference call before this meeting tonight, and they are supportive of our rezoning. We explained to them that the plans are the same as what was presented before. It's just that we are going a different route with a rezoning instead of a text amendment, and have voiced their support of that. And they'll be producing a letter in support of the rezoning, similar to what they did for the text amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brock. Are there any other proponents here to speak in favor of this zoning case? Any other proponents here to speak in favor of this zoning case? Hearing none, are there any opponents here to speak against this zoning case? Any opponents here to speak against the zoning case? Hearing none and seeing none, commissioners, at this time, I entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Lovett, seconded by Commissioner Miller, that we close the public hearing for case number 2020Z as in zebra-005-05. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now closed. Kim, can you please get back to gallery screen for me?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, commissioners, at this time, we'll hear staff's recommendation.
Staff has recommended approval to rezone subject property located at 3025 Sylvan Road and 3025 Sylvan Road and 3075 Sylvan Road from I-1 Light Industrial to C2 Central Business District.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, at this time, we've heard from the applicant, which is the city, and we've also heard the recommendation for approval to rezone this property, 3025 and 3075 Sylvan Road, from I-1 to C2. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Tucker Todd.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the staff's recommendation for approval.
Okay. Okay, and that is a recommendation. Is your motion a recommendation to accept, Commissioner Tucker Todd?
That's correct. Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and your
Second
second
still
still stands, Commissioner
Yes.
Mitchell? Okay. Commissioner, there's a motion to recommend approval on the floor. The motion is made by Commissioner Tucker Todd. The second is made by Commissioner Mitchell. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, the recommendation is to approve. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Motion carries. This body recommends approval. Our next agenda item are announcements. Staff, do you have any announcements that are for the good of the people?
We do not have any announcements at this time.
Okay. I have one announcement. Tomorrow is Juneteenth, and I believe that the city of East Point is having a Juneteenth celebration, if I'm not mistaken. So for those who are listening on this Zoom meeting, you could get further details from the city's website. I'm sure it's eastpointcity.org, unless staff has some details that they'd like to share about the celebration.
I can forward the information to you all. I know that they are wanting to be in compliance with the 50 persons minimum on groups. So what they have provided for the city is that it's going to be on the Facebook page live, as well as there may be several other different platforms where people can tune in virtually. So I do know that will be a component of it. They're trying to adhere to, as much as possible, a 50-person maximum. And there are several different presentations that will be given. I unfortunately don't have the announcement in front of me, but would be happy to share it with you all via email. And as Chairman stated, it is posted on our website.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other announcements, commissioners? Hearing none, at this time I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner Lovett, that we adjourn our regularly scheduled June meeting. Today is June 18th, 2020. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much, commissioners, and thank you, staff.
All right,
Joe,
thank
give me a
you.
call.
Joel,
Joe,
did you hear Commissioner Fan?
Hey, yeah, I hear you, Greg. I'll give you a buzz.
all right, thanks. All right, bye.
All right,
Thank you all.
all right, good evening.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Aye.